Everybody that asks me why I always keep a fire extinguisher in my Jeep, this is why. We had a little bit of an issue where, everybody always asks me, they're like, why do you keep a fire extinguisher in your car? Well, look, I get it. Most race cars will have a fire extinguisher, but let me tell you, it does come in handy. That's why I'd rather just always have one, just so I could put the fire out when it starts. And so I'm gonna show you guys what happened and see your thoughts on it. But I saved it. It didn't get any of the factory wires. It didn't get the ECU. It didn't get anything like that. I 100% saved it. And I'm about to rewire everything and, be good to go. But let me show you what's going on. Everybody that asks me why I always keep a fire extinguisher in my Jeep, this is why. This is the exact reason why. Whew. Holy shit, man. Well, I gotta get another one of these. That's for sure. But I just saved the fucking Jeep. Because without this, that shit would have burnt down to the ground. All right, guys, so I can't blame Jeep. This was definitely my doing. But it's kind of not my doing because why would you supply a 100 amp fuse? This is never gonna pop. Ever. Like 100 amps? Are you fucking kidding me? But yeah. So this was under the cowl somewhere. And I guess it got pinched. And that's what we're left with. So yeah. Good thing I happen to have a new wiring kit. And I'm also going to change out this wire right here because it got a little burnt. So I'm gonna change that too. Yeah, guys, this is just a quick update. Like, I'm just gonna rewire everything. I'm not really gonna show you guys that process. Maybe I'll show you when it's all done. You know how I reran it, because I'm probably gonna go a different route than this just because I don't need this happening again. But I'm about to head out to Harbor Freight and grab a step-up drill bit because I'm going to do a grommet through that firewall. And I'm also going to grab a new fire extinguisher because, like I said, always have a fire extinguisher. You never know when you're going to need it. Believe me. I've never used it before in this Jeep, but this is the first time I used it. And if I didn't have it, I wouldn't have a Jeep right now, or I'd have a lot more damage. I would have had to call the fire department and this and that. And I don't want to do all that, especially not when I could just grab my fire extinguisher, put it out really quick. And, I ripped the wire off on the side of the road, drove it home. I actually drove it to the car wash, got it washed because there was fire extinguisher dust all over my paint, which, if you guys know, that eats the paint. It's really not good for it. But, yeah, put a fire extinguisher in every car you own. It costs $20. Harbor Freight has them, Walmart has them, AutoZone has them, Advanced Auto Parts, Pep Boys. You can get them everywhere. Put one in your car. Believe me. Just take my advice, put one in your car. But I'm going to run out, grab the stuff that I need, and then I'm going to come back and I'll show you guys, the finished product of how I rewire everything. It really sucks because this wiring kit was supposed to be for my new daily driver, which I didn't release to the channel yet, but I am going to very, very soon. And yeah, so another thing too, I had my puppy in the Jeep. Look, I saved the dog before I fucking saved the Jeep. Like the minute I seen smoke and smelled it, I pulled off on a side road. I ran that shit in park. Like the trans was like grinding. I'm like, I don't even fucking care. Like I need to get the fuck out of here, and I need to get my dog out of here. Like the Jeep's replaceable. You know what I mean? A dog is a living thing. You can't, you can go replace a dog, but it's not the same thing. So grabbed the dog, got him out. Luckily, he's still new to me. Luckily, he didn't run away from me because I didn't have a leash for him, but he stayed right on the side of me. He was actually looking at me like, what the hell are you doing, dude? I'm like, yo, chill, putting a fire out over here. So, but yeah, so just buy a fire extinguisher. That is today's lesson. And I'll show you guys the finished product when I get back. So that's the amp wire. It wires from here, and then it goes back to the amp for my subs. That wire was ran underneath the coolant tank and up over here, right over here, through there, underneath the cowl, back out and into the interior and to the amp. So what happened was it wasn't even like this corner where it like rubbed through. It was somewhere underneath here, but the wire, I guess, arced and rubbed through, and this is what we have in return. So that was definitely way too close for my liking. This burnt, and part of that wire is for my light bar, the small one right here, this one, that's for my light bar. But it wasn't that, it was definitely the amp wire, but I'm gonna change that anyways, just because it's a little bit melted and I'd rather be, you know, more safe about it than anything. But when you guys are wiring your audio systems, please, I did not know that the fuse supplied in that kit was this big, but this is a 100 amp fuse. This fuse will literally never pop. Like 100 amps is a lot of amps to pop this fuse. And to be honest with you, like, you see how thick that is? I don't think this would even pop. Even if it was like over 100 amps, I still don't think this would pop. So the new wiring kit has these nice like smaller fuses in them, like that. So that will work a lot better. And yeah, so. All right, guys, so we have the new amp wire is in. If you guys are wondering, 4 gauge is good to like 1,000 watts. I had 0 before, but it was way overkill for what I have. I only have like the one amp puts 450 RMS and the other amp is 600 RMS. So that's 1,050 watts. This wire will be fine. I also don't have it turned all the way up on the amps either, so that's good to know with that. And then another way to figure out your fuse, like what size fuse you should have, is you look at the fuses in your amp. And I have 2 amps, so I have the 2 fuses on the one amp and the 1 fuse on the other amp, so you add those together, and that gives you your proper fuse size. This way it'll blow next time instead of catching fire. 100 amps is just way too much, unless you have like a serious system, but I don't. So I did this all nicely. There's a little bit of slack here, not crazy amount, but there is a little bit. You could still open the fuse box to get in there, so that's pretty cool. And then we go through here. I put a grommet back here. It used to come up over here, and it wasn't here that it rubbed through. It's somewhere underneath, but I did it this way just to prevent this again. So there's a grommet here, and then it runs under the cowl, because these Jeeps are kind of a little hard to run amp wires. And then it comes out another grommet right here, and then it goes into the main grommet on the wiring harness for the Jeep. And then it runs, you know, all the way down, all the way back, all the way, and then it pops out right here. So this cable is a little bit shorter than the other cables I had, so I think I'm going to take my capacitor that I have there and I'm going to mount it down here. I'm probably going to move the amps too, just so I can push this up further, because my tonneau cover prevents me from pushing it up with the amps on top. So I'm probably going to move some stuff around, but for the most part it's all fixed, everything's good. And the only thing I have left is to wire in my light bar. Yeah, so that was definitely really unexpected to you know, have to do this today, but at least I had the stuff laying around, and we're back in business for the most part. I'm just buttoning up a couple things, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.